Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Now, this is an episode I'm really interested to talk about. So let's get straight into this one here. So we've been in this business for 6 years now, 7 years, whatever it was, right? And throughout that time, we've kind of learned a lot. If you go back and look at our very first videos, we suck. All right, we suck. Like everybody else. Whenever you start off in the beginning, you suck. And then over time, you get better. And then you begin to kind of find your voice and understand how to create content and blah, blah, understand the audience and a whole bunch of things. Thumbnails, blah, 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 blah. Right? So it's a learning process. And throughout that story, you kind of discover where your lane is in the entire ecosystem, because there are a lot of people that talk sports, especially basketball. There are a lot of basketball content creators and a lot of new ones popping up every day. And I'm wishing all of them good luck. You know what I mean? I hope everybody does well, because first of all, there's enough money for everybody to do well out here. When we were coming up, nobody used to share our content at all. At all. The only person that gave us a shout out when we started was O'Shea Duke Jackson, funny enough, and he doesn't talk about sports. But as we grew, we used to share a lot of creators content, like a lot of creators content on our community section, right? Just to spread the love, you know what I mean? Like, spread the love. We haven't done it as much is because I haven't really been spending that much time on our community board. But anyway, that's a different story. But anyway, so the sports media space is a very big place, and more people are coming in, and you kind of have like two worlds. You have the YouTube kind of independent sector, and then of course you have television, right, where you have people like Stephen A. Smith and all of these other guys. So Inside the NBA, in my personal opinion, is the best basketball show ever, right? I think they have the best ensemble cast. Those guys have excellent chemistry with one another. I'm talking about Kenny, Ernie, Shaq, and Barkley, right? But some people have kind of criticized their coverage of the sport because they don't really focus too much on the X's and the O's of basketball. And recently, Charles Barkley did a sit-down interview with Sports Illustrated where this very point was brought up. And Charles Barkley addressed it, I believe, in an appropriate way. But before we even get into Barkley's comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. All right, guys, the regular season is wrapped up and the NBA playoffs are finally here, and there's no better way to cash in on all of the high-flying hoop action than Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means when you're making lineups on Prize Pick. And here's something you didn't want to sleep on. Prize Picks has the Do It Live 2026 NBA Finals sweepstakes going on right now. Make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player pick during the playoffs, and you could win a trip for two to the NBA Finals. That alone is reason enough to check out Prize Picks right now. I've been making lineups on the Celtics and Lakers players, and it makes watching the playoffs so much more fun. It's simple. Just pick more or less on player projections across basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. You can even pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup with stacks. And if your picks get off to a hot start, cash out early with easy payouts before the game even ends. Prize Picks is now available in all 50 states. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. All right, perfect. So what I want to do is I'm going to play the sound here for you guys. I want you guys to listen to it, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. Take a listen to Barkley here.
There's also been, I've seen a couple of things out there saying like the show's not the same, meaning the content of the show. How would you respond to that?
I don't know about that. I mean, I think when you don't see us enough, it's hard to assume what's happening is happening, to be honest with you. I don't think we changed anything. You know, it's interesting. For what it's worth, I've had a great time with ESPN. I think all the guys have. You know, they come and watch the show. I ask them, hey, y'all happy with everything? Because we're in a relationship. I want it to work for everybody. You know, I've called Burke. You know, I've called Tim Corrigan. I said, hey, is there anything y'all unhappy with or want us to change? And as long as they're happy, listen, we ain't going to, I don't think we've changed anything. Uh, but listen, even that, man, Jimmy, the number one thing should always be the game.
Right.
Our job, number one, we want people to have fun. We're trying to entertain people. I think that people don't understand. We're on television from 7 o'clock to 2 in the damn morning. How much basketball? First of all, how many people actually know a damn thing enough about basketball for us to X and O them from 7 to 2 in the morning?
Right.
So we try to split it up. Number one, we hope we have a great game, but we have an obligation to entertain people too. I mean, do people really want to see us four dummies sit there from 7 o'clock to 2 in the morning and talk about picks and roll, blitzes, over under, elbow wings, and things like that?
Right.
I mean, so listen, man. I want people to have fun watching basketball.
Yeah.
Period.
It's different strokes for different folks. I mean, I much prefer the entertainment. Listen. Anytime you call Shaq a fool, I laugh. So I'll take that over a pick and roll. The word fool is not used enough as an insult. Yeah. And it is a great insult. It's not too nasty.
No, it's not.
But it's a perfect shot to get at someone.
Yeah. And I love getting at Shaq, and I love calling Kenny that too. But like I say, Jimmy, you just hit the nail on the head. Man, we're trying to entertain people.
Right.
Listen, because there's two different audiences. I've always said this. There's two different audiences, in my opinion. There's a regular basketball fan, which they there. But if you're sitting with somebody, if you're sitting with a wife, a girlfriend, or your kids who don't know anything, like, I don't want to leave my daughter in the other room in her childhood. I want her watching basketball with me. I'm trying to entertain that kid or somebody like that. If you got a son and you like, make sure your son laugh and have fun watching basketball, because they don't understand all the intricacies of the X and O's and things like that. It's like, they blitz in this pick and roll. Dad, what does that mean? Oh, that mean they're going to double the pick and roll, or they're going under, they're going over, or they're hedging. We could sit there for 5 hours and talk like that, but nobody understands that. We want people to have fun watching basketball, because you know what? It's stupid basketball. We're not saving the world.
So you heard what he had to say. What is my take on this? I think that people that criticize, for example, people like Barkley, they're looking for the perfect analyst or sports pundit. There's no such thing. And the reason is because from my understanding and point of view, nobody is good at every single thing. Those are just the facts. Some people are really good at getting in, very analytical and getting you all the data and digging in the weeds and kind of, really diving deep. Then you have some, but those people may not be very interesting to watch. Then you have some people that are more humorous, lighthearted, and they'll give you some data, and they're kind of in the middle. Then you have some people that just purely entertaining, right? They don't really spend so much time on X's and O's, but they get people to watch. And if you look at inside the NBA, I think they have the perfect blend. And here's why I say that. We already know intrinsically that they know basketball. We know that. So we're not waiting for them to give us some deep basketball analysis to prove to prove to us why we need to listen to them. We know that already. The proof of concept is already there. So there's no need for them to kind of try to do that. I think the people that really do that are trying to show you, and usually they're not NBA players. They're trying to show you, okay, this and this and this and this and that and all that. That's number one. Number two, basketball is a spectator sport. People watch it for leisure. I'm not watching basketball to go to school. Now, do I want to learn as I'm going along? Sure. The rules, certain jargon, certain intricacies, but I don't want to go too deep. People watch it for fun, right? So you must always keep it fun. You can't get into this thing where it's like you're in a classroom. Then that gets boring. Me learning the X's and O's and I'll learn the sport, but it's not my job. I'd rather spend that time learning what I actually do for a living and just sitting there and learning this stuff where I don't make any money from it. I'm just, no. Now, unless you want to delve deep into it, great. Most people are looking to be entertained. And on our show, there are times where we've done many shows in depth going into the data and da 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 da. People watch, but it's only a small segment of people. The people that watch our show, I believe that people that primarily want strong opinions, want to be entertained. Yeah, you can give them some data from time to time, but they're also watching. Most of the stuff you're telling them, people already know, right? I just feel like you got to understand at the very end of the day, we're not, this is not nuclear science. We're not studying physics here. It's sports. It's entertainment. You're meant to be entertained and have a good time. And I think sometimes people miss that. People get too analytical and they want to show you how smart they are when it's unnecessary. You don't need to prove that, like, you don't. Now, does it mean that, oh, you don't want to be? Of course you do. And I'll say this, full disclosure, there are people out there that know more basketball than I do from a historical standpoint. Yeah, there are people that know more than me, that watched it longer, that know all the players and the history. Yeah, and I have no problem giving them their props, like Too Raw, Sports and Fitness Rants, and a whole bunch of, there are people that know that. But I think that they're already kind of serving a particular audience. So I need to be me. I can't turn around and start being them. Everybody has to be themselves. And I think that that's what Barkley's talking about. You don't want to bore people to death. Like I mean, come on, like I want to watch basketball, but I don't need to know all of I almost cursed, all of the freaking names of the plays, and I don't need to know all of that, man. Like, like I don't need to know that. It's not that deep. I rather really delve in deeply into what I'm doing than spend all of that time trying to understand what you're doing at that level. It's not really that deep. It's sports. Come on, like let's be for real. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments when we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.